I'm an open book when it comes to this hip hop in this world, man, because the world, the culture need me, bro. So I need they gotta know me.
So that's where I'm going. I didn't know how much you wanted to get into it, but so you had your own block. Obviously, you were out in the streets for a while, which probably at some point in time led you to having to do some time. Now, were at that during before you ended up having to do time, were you already thinking, I want to be in this industry, I want to try to make it as an artist, or was that not yet part of your plan? Welcome everybody to Changing of the Hip Hop Guards. It's me, Uncle E. That's my partner, the journalist Sincere. And today we have a hip hop artist, entrepreneur, businessman, the one and only Roy Raps, coming straight out of, well, hold on, let me get that right. From Queens, Far Rockaway, born and raised in Freeport, Long Island. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's peace, God.
All right, all right. So we have none other than Roy Raps. The X is silent.
Excuse me. That's right.
All right. How you doing today, man? Thank you for joining us on Changing the Hip Hop Guards. It's a pleasure.
Thank you for having me. I'm good, man. Let me just start off by saying, yeah, you had that right. From Far Rockaway, born Far Rockaway, raised in Long Island, Freeport, Long Island, but also within those times, man, I was going back heavy, deep back to Southside Jamaica. So between Southside Jamaica, Brooklyn, between Pickett's and Essex, I had my own block at 15. I ran around, so I like to just let everybody know I'm from New York. I'm a New York cat all around. It's really ain't. I get love everywhere.
Yeah. So do us a favor before we find out what you have going on these days. In 2023. Why don't you take us back a little bit to growing up, teenage years? I'm assuming you spent your teenage years. Was that in Freeport? I know you bounced around, like you said, but was mainly in Freeport?
Yeah, my teenage years was in Freeport. Like I went to high school, junior high school in Freeport. Yeah, definitely.
Freeport. Tell us a little bit about that. What was life like growing up as a teenager in Freeport, Long Island?
Growing up in life in Freeport, Long Island, I went through a lot of different adversities at first. You know what I mean? Being it wasn't my town that I was from. You know what I mean? I came from somewhere else. The side of town that I was on wasn't liked by people of our type, really. You know what I'm saying? But trials and tribulations of my life led me to our side of town. You know what I mean? And that's when my life started. When Roy Rap really started being activated, everything you hear in my music and stuff like that, that's when the ground and the bricks started being laid.
Okay. And what was it exactly that even caught your attention or got your interest into getting into hip hop?
Oh, that was before Long Island. That's Queens. That's my mom playing tricks on me. Ghetto Boys, Scarface. You know what I'm saying? I'm a little kid, man. I'm talking about I'm like 4 years old, 5 years old. You feel me? And then after that, I grew up in a music house. So I grew up when Rakim, Big Daddy Kane was on their way out. So I got turned out to hip hop around that time where it was Know the Ledge, where Know the Ledge dropped. My mom playing tricks on me, Yo MTV Raps, so what got me really into hip hop or wanting to do it or got me hooked to it was Bob Show Bill. I know I'm messing his name up, but
Who's Bushwick Bill?
From Ghetto Boys, Bushwick Bill.
Bushwick Bill.
Yeah, Bushwick Bill from Ghetto Boys. He turned me out. I had a I had nightmares as a kid. And that turned me out to hip hop after that. That's all it was. I was intrigued.
Gotcha. Now, do you remember at what point did you decided you were going to try, your hand at rhyming?
Yeah, that was around. Well, I started rhyming at like 12, freestyling and all that. You know what I'm saying? Okay. But I wrote my first rhyme when I was around 14, 15 years old. And what inspired that was CNN.
CNN?
Noriega. Yeah, CNN, the War Report, Capone
Noriega. Okay. What was your favorite track off that album?
Tony.
Tony?
Tony. Yeah, Tony. A couple of others, but I don't remember the title of the song off the top of the head. So we just gonna go with Tony because that's definitely my favorite. I spit a verse off that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
No. Yeah, just real quick. So, being that you said TONY, CNN, Capone, and Noriega, how'd you feel about like not the transition, but the Nori that we knew back then to the Nori that we knew after that? Like, did you like him still? In his after like when he came out with his own stuff.
Are you talking about CNN to NORE?
Right. Well, I'm talking about like Nori in particular.
Yeah, you're saying
He had
like
like
when
a
he because the NORE album has a completely different flow
right
than the CNN album.
Right.
So is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. Were you still a fan, or did you rather like the CNN days?
Yeah, I was still a fan. Definitely, I was still a fan. I did wonder, like, cause I'm a big believer in reinventing yourself.
Okay.
Right. So not staying stagnant, reinventing yourself. So as a fan, I always love to see my artists reinvent themselves.
Gotcha.
But I did wonder what happened to the flow, because I was like, that joint was hard. You know what I'm saying? It was different.
Right.
But even when he switched it over, he still kept it different. So
Right. Just out of curiosity, what part of Far Rockaway were you from, born?
1056 Nielsen Street, around the corner from Redfern. Big fat.
Redfern. Okay. Redfern, is that Stack Bundles?
Redfern is Stack. Redfern is Bino.
Right.
Yeah.
Bino. Yeah. Shout out to Bino.
Big facts.
Shout out to Bino. By the way, I'm from Long Beach, Long Island, so I'm familiar
Also,
with
you right. You across the joint from Far
a couple
Rockaway.
of towns away from
the bridge, bro.
That's
and,
right.
And a couple towns away from Freeport. So you right. Yeah, we with each other.
That's right. I actually went to Freeport High for a few months way back.
What to say? So you gonna ask me how it was? You know what Freeport High School was?
Yeah. Freeport is great. But shout out to Freeport, because you guys had young black teenagers, right? Came out of Freeport.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Also, what's his name? We used to call him Shag, but they came out with the clothing brand Gino Green.
Yes.
They're from Freeport as well.
It was him and his name. Genius.
Him and his brother.
Genius.
Prince. I think they called him Prince.
Yeah, but one of them name is Genius or something like that, right?
I believe. I know it was him and his brother.
It's something weird. He has if it's not Genius, he has a weird name. I know you're talking about though. Yes.
Yeah. So I'm familiar. So all right. So you moved around. Started rhyming. You said about 12. Now, who was there any particular artist that you? I mean, you mentioned CNN, but as far as writing and figuring out your flow, and was there any particular artist that caught your attention that you were like, not saying that you want to imitate, but early on, a lot of us used to kind of, emulate.
I'm a fan, and we all, in order for you to write your first rhyme, you got some kind of inspiration from somebody.
Right.
This. I'm here to change this whole narrative in hip hop, bro. Like this egotistical, too much pride nonsense where you can't tell another man, yo, you did your thing, bro.
Mm-hmm.
It's disgusting, and it's tearing our culture apart, and it's keeping us like this instead of like this.
Right.
So yeah, nah, man. Rakim, brother. Yeah, Rakim.
Rakim.
Me and Rakim actually have the same penning pattern.
Okay.
Like I don't write straight across the pad. I write like this.
Okay. Yeah. I think I remember seeing him talk about that in the interview where he sort of had like the page broken into like like columns.
But I didn't do that. I didn't know that until I heard that interview. But I was already writing like that.
Why?
My friend, I went through my old friend at the time. I ain't cool. We don't rock now. But he had I was always like the CEO of the group, and so he was like my Biggie Smalls at the time. Okay. So just like Biggie took Puff and was like, "Yo, I see you writing, you nice. I get what you're saying, but do something like this, do it like this, or do this like, you know what I mean?"
Right.
And that's what he did. He was like, "Yo, it's gonna make your bars sharper, so it's gonna make them hit."
Okay.
It's going to make your bars hit every time. It's not going to sound like you reading off the paper.
Got you.
So that's where that came from.
Very dope.
Did you have a mentor earlier on that helped you format your writing pattern?
That's the mentor. That he wasn't he's a mentor in a way, yeah, but I'm not gonna say his name on it.
Okay. What were you doing earlier on to get your name out there? Ciphers, the shows. How were you getting your name out there earlier on?
Ciphers, shows, battles. You know what I mean? Like, I come from a time you get in a cipher and you got to battle it out. I done been, behind bars. I had to battle it out. So that type of thing, as well as performing all around New York City, the Pyramid, you know what I mean? Karma, the Karma Lounge,
Ooh, yeah.
Cheetahs, all that. You know what I mean? So running around crazy, you know what I mean? And tearing the city up and getting write-ups for tearing the city up for live performances. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's how I got it up, and just running around, bumping shoulders with DJs. I've used every angle of the game when it comes to marketing and promoting. So I'm used to it. I know how to work everything, from the CDs, being out there selling CDs out your car, to getting my own wall and mixtape spots and at the time where G Unit was pumping, where my man would let me get in those relationships, where he would let me put my flyers and all that over a G Unit poster. You know what I mean? Because that's what type of time I was on. Like at that time, it's like, y'all eating enough. Y'all don't need it. You know what I mean? So, and so yeah, I've done it all. I've been through every chamber of it.
What kind of feedback were you getting as you was doing shows and ciphers? What was the reaction like? Any constructive criticism that came your way?
Well, everything is a growing process. You know what I mean? But by the times I was in ciphers and stuff like that, no, everybody, I was holding my own for the ciphers I was in, and anywhere I was traveling to. By the time I was on ciphers and on stages, pardon me. By the time I was on ciphers and stages, yeah, no, the love was all the reactions was good reactions. All the love was real. Was, yo, let's do a record, or yo, can you come to my next event? And so that's always been there. Once I hit that point, but before that, it's rapping in front of your brothers, rapping in front of your cousins. You know what I'm saying? And your cousins like, yo, you trash, bro. Like, get out of here. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yo, keep writing, bro. Like, you garbage. And to me, I always felt like they wasn't really listening. I'm gonna keep going. I ain't paying attention to them. You know what I mean? This is what I love to do. And so with that thick skin, I just got better and better and better and better and better. You know what I mean?
Just to touch on something you kind of mentioned before when we were talking about being in different parts of New York. You said, did I hear you correct when you said something about you had your own block at a certain point?
Yeah, in Brooklyn.
In Brooklyn?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, not to go too deep in that. I guess I'm pretty sure I know what you're talking about, but you did mention did you spend some time? Okay.
Hey, God, you all right? Yeah, man.
I don't want to. I don't know what's.
No, go ahead, say it.
Or not, you know what I mean?
Yeah, at that time it was. At that time it was. I had already opened up the record company. No, because that was 15. No. Like the business like investing money into the music and all that. No.
Okay.
At that point, it was I rap. When I'm around my mans, I rap. I think at that time I might have recorded only one song. That might have been my first time recording a song at the age of like 15. At the age of 15. So when I had this block, you say it's around 15, because I went up north as a juvenile for what? 15, that's a year. So around 16, 17, that's just me rapping around my friends and all that, and just playing on the block and just getting money. A record deal, if it came, because I was rapping and freestyling, and somebody walks around and say, yo, you talented. Yeah, right. But not going hard for it, no.
Okay. Now, when eventually you find yourself doing time up north and everything, did at any part of that process did this come then? Like, yo, you know what? Maybe let me focus on this when I get out of here so that I don't have to do this again? Or was it after you came home and then at some point?
It was after I came home.
Okay.
I came home and continuing to do music, and then I got with my man that I said I'm not gonna mention his name, but I had a group called I came up with a group called Grand Theft Gangsters.
Okay.
And through us doing mixtapes, just it started off with us just sitting in the house recording music in the house, right? Because he knew how to do some flyness with the tape and all this and record us in the crib. We ain't even need a studio, little mic. He knew how to do something ill. So we was doing that. And then as this year's passing as that's happening. So I said 16. So then 17 comes, you know what I mean? And then 18, I hit 18 and I meet like a manager type of guy on the block that wants to kind of manage us or give us some game. He had a little history in the industry or whatever. So he was telling me about stuff. And to him, my loyalty was worth, like, 'cause I remember it being like a barter system for something, right?
Okay.
But my loyalty bartered for him to tell me how to get a record company, how to open my own record company.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? He said it to me and my partner. I'm the only one that when he said it, ears went like this and went forward. You know what I'm saying? Because my mindset was, you're always going to have people's hands in your pocket. I was always one of the men, because I was already getting money.
Okay.
So one thing I knew, and I was already studying the hip hop game from all this time that I was telling you.
Right.
Right? Eyes never left the screen off it. Right? So I understood there's always going to be somebody's hands in your pocket. But I wanted to minimize the hands that were in my pockets. I said, I'm talented. I know I can rhyme, but the only way I can minimize the hands in my pockets is if I open up my own record company. So when the guy Luke, we call him Luke Skywalker, when Luke actually did that, I took advantage of the situation, and I actually went and opened up my record company called Monument Records.
Gotcha. Yes.
What do you remember about the early recording process during your first few singles?
I was trash. Early recording process. That I didn't know nothing about the early recording process. The early recording process, I didn't know anything. I guess the dude that was in the group. If one day his name is gonna come out, the dude that was in the group. He was really, at that time, he was really keen. He was really good to me in my craft, like everything. I kind of already was good at bars and was a little deeper than him at bars. So it was like Wayne and Drake. So he was more like Wayne, I was more like Drake. So we same type of cadence, same type of flow, but mine had more substance to it. Right?
Okay.
So but he was great at choruses. So he was teaching me different things. He recorded records more than me. He's one of those child prodigy type kids. Like the rugged child, like Shaheed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he had already been recording. So he was teaching me all that. So I didn't know nothing in the beginning. My process got better through time and just learning. Because I'm a type of person, if I'm in a movie, I'm gonna watch myself in the movie afterwards. If I do a live performance and it's filmed, I'm gonna watch the film. You know what I mean? So,
right. Give us kind of a timeline. When did you drop your first single?
My first actual distributed single. That's what you mean, right?
Yes.
First distributed single might have been 2015. Distributed like to stores where everybody can get it. 2015. Right. Yeah.
Okay. And that reaction, do you remember that reaction to that single?
Oh, no, everybody loved that single. Everybody loved it. Everybody rocked with that single. That single did good. It's actually doing good to this day.
Okay. So what was the trial and error, you think, earlier on that you was able to adjust and put out quality product when it was time?
Finding my sound, right? So that was my thing, finding my sound, finding my voice, finding my comfortability, figuring out how I'm going to project, my swag and my energy and everything about me, my whole aura through a microphone. I think that's the biggest thing when it comes to recording that you have to catch as an artist is putting everything about you or everything that you're creating and you want people to see, because some people have to create something. They have to put on a creation. Everybody's not blessed to be able to have their natural who they are, go through a microphone and everybody take to it. You know what I mean? So I think that's the biggest thing, being able to push your aura, your character, everything, your train of thought, how you think, because your fans start to know how you think from just listening to your music.
Right.
You know what I mean? So being able to project all that through a microphone, that was a trial and tribulation. But once I got it, I loved it, and it's one of my best things about the music, about recording process.
So
Was that around the time, like when you put out that first single, 2015? You said, was that around the time that you sort of felt like you found that, or was it after that?
No, it was before that I found that, because before I put out a single, I had a whole album done. I had like 2 albums worth of work done.
Okay.
That I was ready to put out. You know what I'm saying? So, I got locked up in 2016 recently, right? I got locked up in 2016 recently. I was supposed to drop an album called Next with the Crown. I got locked up. I only dropped a single off that album called Hear This.
Mm-hmm.
When I came home in 2018, I immediately dropped the album Next with the Crown.
Okay, that's with Superstar J.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. Okay. The reason why I was asking about when that was, because I find it interesting that artists back in the days, we didn't have so many outlets, right? Like as far as visual. So it was very important back then that they can project what you're talking about, because it was the only way we could sort of imagine, who the artists were, what they looked like, what did they, you know what I mean? So around that time, I mean, we had, you had like the MySpace, and there was a couple of platforms. So
I mean, like that. If you mean that, my first single was in 2009, because I always did videos and I dropped it to YouTube, and y'all been dealing with, we dealt with TuneCore and stuff like that. So you know what? I gotta retract that. That's wrong.
Well, I saw you had some stuff like in 2000, like you even dropped freestyle in 2008.
Yeah.
So you had the classic freestyle that you did over the DJ Premier joint and stuff. So yeah, so you were grooming yourself early on.
Yes, the whole time. All that you see is groom process. All that's groom process to get to 2016, where Next with the Crown drops.
Okay, got it.
Right, but yeah. So, but I've had songs. I got a song Make Room. Make Room is like 2009. We got the music video on YouTube for that.
Yep.
Numbers did crazy. So that would be the first single that I ever dropped, was 2009, Make Room. I think we got like 56,000 views on that, 76,000 views, something like that on that. So yeah.
Okay.
At what point did you meet Mr. Cheeks?
As a brother, I met Mr. Cheeks about 3 times through my life. As a kid, when I was with my baby moms, and I told her, don't you say nothing to that nigga. You know what I'm saying? I've been Roy Rap for a long time, bro. So my wife ain't gonna be groupieing on nobody else, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and listen, not to be like 49, but Mr. Cheeks, they was dropping for Mr. Cheeks.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. I didn't tell her don't say nothing to him for no reason. She's like, oh, it's Mr. Cheeks. I was like, hey, Mr. Roy Rap right here. Calm down. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But
because you said you used to be on South Side a lot.
Yes. Definitely was on South Side a lot. I ran with my man Crook from the 40 Projects a lot. So yeah, definitely. My man Juice from over on Jamaica and 19 and 168 and 192. You know what I mean? My people own property in Queens, so like commercial property. So I'm sold in the Queens regardless. You know what I mean?
Matter of fact, Cheek's birthday was what, today or yesterday?
Cheek's birthday was in between yesterday. I think it was yesterday. Cheek's birthday was yesterday.
Yeah.
Cheek's birthday was yesterday.
Belated to
But as far as brothers, to answer your question, that happened in like 2015, 2016.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what particularly happened? What kind of conversations that led to your relationship to this day?
Royal Flush is the soul in peace to that. Royal Flush is my brother. My brother, our kids play together. He's more than just an industry friend of mine. So being with him, hanging out, us drinking, him having a show. We go behind the scenes. I'm behind stage, backstage with everybody, and we got tight like that. He kept seeing me because him and Flush like this.
Mm-hmm.
So if they go back, if Flush comes backstage, the first time I met him, Cheeks had the show. Flush didn't even perform. We were just going to support him. We went backstage, and Flush will go. Even if Flush has a show, he goes and chills in the backstage in Mr. Cheeks' room. You know what I'm saying? Dressing room. You feel me? So yeah. So Mr. Cheeks kept seeing me with him coming in his dressing room. So we constantly got one-on-ones.
Okay.
And that's how the relationship built. And I became LB fam. I was LB fam as a teenager, but not through Mr. Cheeks, through the street soldiers that was young street soldiers that was running around and stuff like that. I became LB fam. And I became LB fam around the time that Freaky Todd passed away.
Which anniversary just passed too, I believe.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So so pulling forward, he had a show at the Apollo, and me and Flush pulled up. And that night, he made me LB fam officially through him. So, yeah. So,
nice.
Being around seasoned vets like those two, they were deep in the game as far as like 93, 94, 95. What's the takeaway that you can give us that you've learned from being around those two guys?
That the showmanship never stops. Like, not just, I'm going to go back to just them two. But if you see like anybody that was really into the showman, like really performing at those times, you might see him like, I think, matter of fact, De La Soul just had a show, and in the middle of their show, they stopped like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like showmanship never stops. You know what I mean? And they just stay in tune with the being around them. I know they stay in tune with the people. They just make sure that they stay around the people and they stay around the young people and they continue to keep working. What I learned from them is keep working. Don't pay attention to what anybody says. There's money all over the place. There's money to get from all over the place. It's all different. I learned a lot of different ways to get checks from them. Nice. Like a lot of ways that we don't even think about as fans that somebody would get a check. I learned a lot of different ways to get checks with them. You know what I mean? That goes past just going overseas and all that. A lot of good ways of getting checks. Not no sleazeball crap, because I don't like sleazeball stuff that go on. I do good business all the time. Right. In the regular business world, I'm a good businessman. In the streets, I'm a good businessman. I was never a slime ball. If I had to do something to you, I handled that. Sometimes, a lot of times, I let people live because the drama wasn't worth the money I was getting. You understand what I'm saying?
Right,
so I've always been stand up on business. I don't tolerate, I don't care. And Tragedy Gaddafi told me this. He said, yo, rap, you got to understand, man. He said, hip hop was built from the streets. So it's always going to be, quote unquote, some shit in it. You know what I'm saying? Right. And NIGGA for anybody that didn't understand the point, right? And when he said that to me, I could have just accepted it. But I said, all right, I understand it. And now I'm going to overstand it. And Now we're gonna deal with God time. Forget that.
Right.
We're gonna deal with God. You understand what I'm saying? So with that, it's good orderly direction. So I only deal with good business. And anybody in the industry doing foul, nasty, corny business and ain't standing up on when somebody pay you, you do your job to the utmost. Because at the end of the day, it's gonna be your name tagged on it anyway.
Right.
You don't do it. I don't deal with you. And yeah, you can't get no money with me at all. That's it. That's it. You know what I mean? So that's what I be on. Sorry about my tangent, but that's what I be on.
No.
That's what I learned from them. That's what I learned from them. That you got to be on point in this game because dudes is foul. It's not all hip hop culture. You know what I mean? So that's what I learned from them.
Right. And sometimes there's like a what is it called? Like a facade sometimes when it comes to hip hop that it's easy to forget that there's actually another side to it. It's not all fairy tales and you know what I mean? Like
True indeed.
so
It's
I get what you're saying.
it's definitely from the concrete. You do get into the game. You do get in the game, and people who music you might have grew up listening to or whatever you think they like that, they're nothing like that. And I'm talking about like they're moral, the rappers that got more that talk about morals and principles and all that. Then you meet them and they're nothing like that. They don't stand on no morals. They don't stand on no principles. They don't stand on no good business. You know what I'm saying? They straight slime balls. And that right there is disheartening for artists coming up, emerging artists. You know what I mean? But you got to see that, realize what it is. I tell every artist that I come across like that, the hip hop culture is in you. You got to embody that in you and carry it, put it on your back and carry it everywhere so everybody understands the flavor of the culture and what's it really supposed to be like. Because anything other than that in here is business. It's business. And the only people that you bump into that you share that culture with, that hip hop culture with, is other individuals in the music business that feel the same way you feel and put it in their heart and on their back and walk around with it. That's it.
That's very well put actually. That's very well put.
Thank you.
That makes a lot of sense. It sounds like actually if you think about it in that way, it kind of eliminates a lot of I don't want to say unnecessary conversations, but maybe it'll save you from having wasted energy with some conversations because you won't waste your time talking to individuals that they say hip hop culture when all they really mean is the music, for example, or you know what I mean? And then you're over here like, that's not really hip. You know what I'm saying? And so that's actually a very good way to think about it and go, you know, especially now we're coming up on 50 years of hip hop. So
exactly. Yeah, man. Big hip hop is beautiful, man. We never thought it was going. I never thought it was going to reach the plateaus it reached as a little kid. I would have never dreamed of it. I just love the music, you know what I mean? But I love that it's getting the love that it's supposed to. And that we have somewhere we can continue for kids like me that was a fan, or kids like me that came out of the street or was forced into the street, you know, have an outlet in order to get out still. We can still use music in order to get out in some form of way and fashion.
At what point did you come up with the name Roy?
Roy Rap came.
Well, in particular,
Roy Rap came around. Roy Rap came when I came home and when I was around 17.
About 17.
Yeah, because I was Bumpy Johnson before that. I was Antel before that. And before that, I was Rugged. Not Rugged Child, because Shaheem had it. I was just Rugged.
Okay. But I know, the reason why I'm asking, because I know, or I saw that there's like an acronym, right, for rules
over impulse. Yes, rules over impulse. I came up with that name because I didn't want to adapt the name of somebody that if I knew them in real life and try to shake their hand, they wouldn't shake my hand. I didn't want to adapt the name of a mythological name. You know what I mean? I didn't want to do that. Everything I do with my music, everything with my brand is real close to chess. So, I wanted to do something that I could relate to that was about me. And that's what I'm about, rules over impulse. And a lot of people would say, what is that? Like, how do you break that down? Well, I grew up in a certain demographic. Grew up, in a certain demographic. So rules over impulse kept me alive. So if I want to put it on a grand scale for everybody that watches, the world watches movies. So before, if you watch the John Gotti movie, I mean, he did what he wanted to do, but before he did that, he went to talk to people about his problems. You know what I mean? Let me make it simpler. If I was in a mob and a made man killed my father, and I wasn't a made man, or even if I was a made man, I have to go and ask the Don if I can do this.
Right.
My impulse says go kill him.
Right.
But the rules say you got to check in first. Chain of command first.
Right.
Get that, then that decides whether you could do it. If the chain of command say you can't do it, you don't do it.
Right. So following certain rules sometimes could actually help you, survive.
Advance, save your life.
Right. Not find yourself in a jammed up situation. Got you. So let's see, man. We where are we as far as projects? You mentioned Tragedy. We talked about Royal Flush.
Yes.
How did you make the connection with them too? And then how did that collaboration come about for the song?
IDM2.
Thank you.
Y'all know what IDM2 is?
Do not.
Meaning?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Think about it. Think about who's on the song.
Intelligent.
Okay.
Y'all went with him first? Hold on, wait. Y'all went with him first? I told you who my brother was. Let's start with him.
Okay. Cheeks.
No.
No.
Who introduced me to Cheeks?
Flush.
All right. So what does IDM2 mean?
Ice down medallions.
My man.
2.
Okay.
My man. He blessed me with that.
Okay.
He said, bro, you could take it. You could do that.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? So,
okay.
The name of the song wasn't Ice Down Medallions 2 when we recorded it. I was with Flush another night. I was just kicking it, and he had to do On the Child with Trash. Trash got his show On the Child. So he had to do On the Child with Trash, and I was just a fly on the wall in the background, you know what I mean? Just chilling, soaking up game as usual. And after the show, we just, powwowing, how the guards do, just building. And he would, we was like, yo, I'm hanging. I'm not doing nothing. Trash was like, I'm not doing nothing after this. I'm with y'all. I'm rocking. We just vibing, what y'all dealing with. So Flush was like, yo, what you dealing with? You got a studio or something you want to go to? I said, yeah, I got a studio. We Gucci. He's like, all right, we out. So I called the stool. We pulled up to the stool. Shout out my man Ev Richardson, from Richardson Studios out in Freeport. So we pulled up on him. He's a culture head too, culture lover. So he was like, you got Trash and Flush with you? He like, in Freeport, I'm like, so he like, yo, bro, bring him through. Boom. So I said, I bet. So I brought him through. Flush starts, we go through the beat. Trash picks the beat. Trash actually picked the beat we rock to. Flush starts going in, no pen, it's just in his head, cup of Hennessy in his hand, bobbing. Goes in the studio, mic me up. Goes in there, bangs his joint out, bangs his verse out. He inspires Trash to do the same. Tragedy has never ever freestyled a verse ever.
Okay.
He inspired Trash to do that night.
Wow.
Trash freestyled his verse that night. It was a beautiful thing to see the veterans do it, like in front of my eyes. You know what I'm saying? It was dope. So while they was doing that, I was penning mine. I stick to my penning. I can record and do that too, but I like my penning, so I stick to my penning. And they finished up, and Trash had to go, so Flush, took him home, and he was like, "Yo, bang it out, bro." When they was leaving, I was going into the booth. When they were on their way out, I was going into the booth to record my verse. And after I did that, Got a couple of OKs. Traj wanted to use it for his album with Havoc. Him and Havoc was supposed to be doing an album. He wanted to use it for that. I don't know what happened with that. When Traj heard the verse, though, because mind you, Traj left. So when Traj heard the verse, he came back. I seen him at a show in Connecticut. Nori brung Flush out. And Flush and Mike Geronimo and Traj. So I seen him in Connecticut, and Traj walked up on me like, you know what I'm saying, with the ice grill and all that. And I remember Nori saying that when he did Blood Money,
he
did Blood Money, that's how Traj walked in on him in the studio, like. So he was like, he didn't know that's when Traj feel like, yo, that's when Traj likes something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like he looked like he want to fight you, like he want to snuff you when he likes something. Right? So he did the same thing to me at backstage. So I already knew what it was. I seen the interviews. I already knew what it was. So I gave him that. He like, yo, bro. He says, yo, God, that's you on the record? Cause we know we was inebriated, bro. We was intoxicated. So he was like, I said, yeah, bro, that's me. He was like, so he said, yo, what you want to do with that? I said, what you want to do with it? He was like, well, I wanted to put it on the joint with me and Havoc. I said, I could take that look. I said, but I ain't gonna hold you. I need that. Because I know what I'm gonna do with it. I'm like, I need that. He's like, I bet. Songs raw. So what you hear right now, song didn't sound nothing like that. After I have that conversation, I go back into the studio and I get with my man Av, and I'm like, yo, listen, take my ball. Matter of fact, I didn't even get with Av. I'm sorry. I went to a whole nother studio, and I want to get my man Willie B.
Okay.
Uncle E, I think you know Willie B. You might know
Willie B, you said?
Yeah, you might know Willie B. He's big on the production side. Behind the scenes, I'll show you something.
Okay.
So you know him. I got with him. He's a DJ too, so he got the turntables in his studio. So I said, Joe, listen, man, take out of my verse when I say Arab Nazi, iced up medallion, my neck, Brocky. I said, take that out. I said, that I want you to scratch that. He said, from where? He said, you got them lyrics already? I said, it's in the verse. He said, oh, that's dope. He takes that, scratches it up, boom, boom, throws that on. So I'm in there executive producing the whole record. You know what I mean? That's what I love. That's my favorite part of this whole music thing is executive producing a record. Once I get to get my Puff Daddy on, I'm good. You know, my Puff Daddy Dr. Dre on, I'm happy.
Nice,
But yeah, that's how that record came across, man, and that became the finishing project. And then I got them guys to come pull out for the music video. So it was a lot of love shown. They showed a lot of love.
So what the guy you just said, Willie B, he's the one doing the cuts on there?
Yeah.
Okay. Man, you right, kind of got a little primo.
Yeah, he's sharp. Yeah, he was sharp. He was sharp. But that's, you know, be honest with you, not to say nothing about his scratching skills, but you give me a primo beat, that's like one of my favorite beats. Like you give me a primo beat and say, yo, rap, go off, I'm going off. Yeah. Like I can't mess up on a primo beat. Like that's my thing. So it's part of me. Like it's part of my like I'm like a warrior, like a dead warrior. So when you look at the dead warrior's body, you're gonna see like gashes, all different type of gashes and war marks and tattoos and all different type of symbols that mean different things. That's who I am in hip hop.
Gotcha. Okay.
So there's a piece of every MC that was influential in hip hop in my makeup.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? So
gotcha.
So that's how you're gonna get the primo scratch. I'm gonna want a primo scratch in my record if I'm executive producing a record.
Right.
Primo gonna bleed out my rib. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's dope. That's dope. Just real quick, since I keep seeing that, what's the shirt right there? BTM.
Black Tie Mafia, BTM is the music group. Black Tie Music Group is the music group, but Black Tie Mafia is the organization. That's the nation.
Okay.
And that's the rap group.
Okay. Anybody that what's going on with that right now? I mean, you got some other artists that are out already, or
yeah, we got Josiah Hotwire, we got Nico B, we got Red Light on the Afro beat, reggae, any rap tip. You know what I mean?
okay.
Who else we got? Who else we got right now? Just me going off the top of the dome. I don't want to leave nobody out. We got my man Prince right now, Prince the God. You'll see him on my stories. So who else we got going on right now? Yeah, we got the artists. Our songwriters are amazing. They prefer we don't speak their name out, but we got a whole group of songwriters. We have the whole thing, man. We have the video production team.
Okay.
Well, let me say department. We got a video production department. We got an audio production department with about 5 to 6 producers, engineers. We have a writing department, songwriting department.
Oh wow.
We have the PR department. We have a manager department. About 5 different managers, 3 PRs right now. I feel like I'm missing something. We have a marketing department, promotional department, and an A&R department. So we have departments and strong people in each department, and so we running that right now, as well as prepping the artists that we're gonna come out with, as well. So right now I'm running around heavy with my BBG boys, which is Black Beetle Gang. You know what I mean? They're their own entity. I'm actually a member into their group.
Okay.
And they just respect my business mind, so they came to the label.
Gotcha. Now, was this everything that you just described? Was that a collaborative effort as far as putting it together? Was it spearheaded by yourself, or how did that come about?
Spearheaded by me, but a collaborated effort.
Nice.
Everybody. Nice. What it was is, like I said. So you say I opened my record label when I was 18, right?
Right.
Now I got my whole office.
Nice.
So you start your record label, it's only you, or you and a partner, or whatever, whatever. Now, from me being 18 to now, I have a whole office. So now when we do, and people want to talk to us, we only talking, P&D deals.
Okay.
That's the only type of deals, P&D deals. We'll take single deals. We take an artist deal, but it has to have a P&D deal attached to it.
For anybody new coming up in this, man, what exactly is that about?
P&D deal.
Yeah.
Production deal. Production distribution.
Right. Like I'm just saying, for like an up and coming artist,
or publishing distribution deal.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's basically the labels pay you to produce music for the labels, right? So now I don't know if anybody ever seen What's Love Got to Do with It, and I'm gonna bring it even closer in a second. But if you've seen What's Love Got to Do with It, when Ike is spazzing out on Tina when they in the house, and he's like, I gotta get these records for the labels done. He got a P&D deal.
Okay.
He had to he had to produce these records for them to distribute, for him to make money.
I'm thinking Divine in the Hulu.
You're thinking RZA and Divine.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yes.
Yes.
You're going crazy trying to get them signed and this.
Yes. Yo, bro, the deadline, bro. I need y'all to drop. They're gonna sue us. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But you own more of the pie.
Right.
So we going for 80-20, 90-10 split right now. Depending on what we're talking about. I own my name, so the conversation got to be different.
Okay.
They can't own my likeness.
I see why in a lot of things when I was looking you up and stuff, it always kept coming up. Very strong business minded. Self-taught, was that all just through trial and error, or did you actually pick up some books? How did you get to be so savvy with the business?
little bit of book reading, a lot of outside experience, a lot of studying movements, and making a 1 + 1 = 2. Instead of being a fan and I cracked what was real. Once I found out what was really going on, like for instance, by the time we hear the song, we think he just dropped the song, he just wrote it, this is fire. That song about 2 years old. Gotcha. When I started cracking the code, all right, now I'm on a different frequency. I'm not even on fan frequency. Now I'm on music business. I'm a part of the business frequency. So now I'm studying Dame Dash's interviews. I'm studying Puff Daddy's interviews. I'm studying Pac's interviews. I'm studying Biggie Small's interviews. I'm studying Jay's interviews. I'm studying if it's Funk Master Flex interviews. I'm studying the A&R, the major A&R that could have had the biggest artist right now, but he looked past him and went with somebody else, and now he lost his job.
Right.
I paid attention. You see that little small part I paid attention to? Mm-hmm. He passed on the next big thing for something else, and when the next big thing he passed on and they found out he passed on it, he lost his job.
Right.
So now if I ever got a job as an A&R, I know how to move. Mm-hmm. I know how to look for talent, not to sleep on something because it's not what I like. To open my ear for what the world likes. So that type of studying and that putting 1 + 1 = 2 and listening to the music and listening to the skits and what's being said and everything. It was a big gumbo pot of everything. And I'm great at comprehension. So, that studying and experience and conversation with people and people willing to give game and building rapport, that brought all that.
Nice.
And I just held all the information.
So, can you talk about your latest single, Summertime, out right now?
Man, Summertime is Kanye, wait till I get my money right. Mm-hmm. Summertime is the every hustler, the every hardworking human being just feeling, man. We all loved when the summer come out. I don't care what's going on. If you got a drop top, you're going to make sure you pull the drop down. You know what I mean? You pull the top down. So everybody loves the summertime, but everybody wants to be able to have the money to enjoy the summertime. Right? So you got to get everything ready during the wintertime. You got to prep, stack, save, plan, strategize all winter in order for you to shine in the summertime. And that's what that is, man. That's all that is. That's the motivation to manage your money right. That's the motivation to not be blowing all your money in the strip club because you ain't gonna be able to shine the way you really want to shine in the summertime when everybody that decided to have good money management is shining. So you want to be a scammer, you want to be a hustler and all that. You got 9-to-5 cats coming out here shining better than you in the summertime because you wanted to do nonsense and not manage your bread and focus up. That's summertime.
Right. That song's geared up to be the hot jam for the rest of the summer. In the meantime, what can we expect from you throughout this year?
Oh, we dropping more and more records. I'm dropping a song a month with the video a month. We ain't stopping. It's going to keep it pushing. We're going to keep pushing summertime all the way into the summer. I think summertime is going to grow its own legs because I said it's that vibe. It's that wait till I get my, type vibe. So I think everybody wants to hear that in the morning time when they about to start their morning. You know what I mean? Everybody wants to hear that when they about to go do a show or they about to, it's game time. You know what I mean? They want to hear that before that. So we're dropping singles, man. We're performing. We got a performance in Virginia coming up. Shout out my man True. We got a performance out in California coming up. We about to do Mad Wednesdays on the 19th. We got something with Ahmed on April 20th. So we got, we working. We got things lined up all summer. We just out here making everything happen, man. Just doing interviews, just running it up, enjoying it, man.
You still because I saw you also did the movie Circles.
That's
I
right.
believe it's on Amazon Prime now. So you still trying to get pursue
We
that a
still
little bit
acting.
more?
We still acting. We still acting. Definitely still acting. You know what I mean?
How do you like that experience?
Oh, I
How do you
love
like that?
acting.
How do you like that experience compared to the music, like
I knew
making
you was gonna
music
say that.
and
I knew you was gonna ask me that too. Um,
is it a big difference between like being on a set or being in the studio?
I'm passionate about both because I think I could say I'm more passionate about music.
Right.
I'm more passionate about music, but I have a strong passion for both because I came into the music um just love. Like I said, I was turned out to hip hop, but hip hop controlled the whole culture from from music to movies.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we had big soundtracks at the time when I was getting turned out to hip hop. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it was the entertainment for me.
Mm,
I've always been a movie buff since a
okay.
kid. Who's the man with the master plan? You know what I mean? Juice.
Yeah.
I've always been a movie buff, bro. You know what
Okay.
I mean? So I think it was more so the entertainment for me. Yeah, it was more so the entertainment for me. So I got a passion for both of them, strong passion. I love it. I love both of them.
Do you see yourself at some point, being a little more involved on the movie aspect, like maybe directing or, behind the camera?
Definitely see
Yeah.
myself directing behind the camera, in front of the camera, and probably maybe taking that on more than music, where I become more into the executive side of music,
Okay.
more
Because
acting and the executive side of music.
you've done even like a lot of your own videos, right? As far as putting it together,
I
producing,
direct all
directing.
my own videos.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
I ain't mean to
dope.
cut your wisdom, God.
No,
My
no,
bad.
no.
Sorry.
Yeah. That's man, dude. You got like the full package, bro.
Thank you,
Pretty
man.
much.
I studied, just studied.
That's dope, man. That's dope. That's what you got to do, man. You got to equip yourself with as many tools as possible, right? The more tools you have, the better prepared you are to build.
Yeah, because don't nobody need a rapper. They need everything else. And that's real. Nobody need a rapper, bro. A rapper pay for everything.
Yeah.
Um, Rappers pay for everything,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, and it's so many rappers. It's so many rappers that if I want a rapper, I can just go stand outside. I can go wherever I want to go and just grab one. Ha.
Right.
But I don't know where to go to get a videographer.
Right.
I don't know where to go to get a director.
That's true.
Um, I don't know where to go to get somebody to train my artist to be an A&R for my artist because he needs to know how to talk in an interview.
Mm-hmm.
He needs to know not to tell on himself when somebody asks him a question.
Right. How to
So,
project himself? How to? Yeah.
so these people are seeking for.
Yeah.
So if you have these talents, I don't know where to find an executive producer. I can't afford Dre. Right? So when you put these different talents in your utility belt, you become everybody needs you. You
Mm-hmm.
become useful. And I'd rather be useful than useless.
Yes. Yeah. Do you see your company as being a company that at some point, I don't, or maybe you do it now, I don't know, you can let us know, that provides opportunity for those videographers or different type of people that can come in, let's say maybe do like an internship or, that type of stuff through your company?
Yes.
Yeah.
We're definitely taking interns. So anybody that's watching this, we're definitely taking interns. We're definitely signing artists as well. And I have my own distribution portal. So let me say that as well. I have my own distribution portal. I don't have to go to any of these other distro kids and none of that. I have my own. So yes, we're signing artists. We're taking video. We're taking videographers on. Well, like I said, when I broke you down the departments, when the videographer department, the video production department, we have four videographers, 4 or 5 videographers.
Wow.
And those are 4 or 5 videographers that are individuals by themselves. They can go do they thing, and then we have an actual whole set team that come and bring lights, cameras, all the works. We have that whole thing as well. So yeah, that's exactly what the company is built up on. You know, we're living in a time where people aren't really locking into one person. They gotta go. Everybody got their inspirations. They gotta go do their thing. They gotta go get their win.
Right.
And I don't cloud that. So that's why I say I'm not a boss. I'm a leader.
Gotcha.
A boss wants to keep his foot on your neck and not let you get higher than him, because then he won't be the boss no more.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a leader. I'm gonna take you with me so you can see and experience it on your own. So when you're ready to go and do your thing, you'll be able to go do your thing. You know? So but that's what BTM Music Group is made up of. It's like a mobile record company.
Gotcha. Okay.
These are all my people. These are all my staff. These are all my people. This is all my network. These are all people that's locked in on paper with me, right? But they're free to do their own, to do everything that they're doing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So we definitely, that's to answer your question. Yes, definitely.
So that's really cool, man. Really, I salute you on that, man, and commend you, man, because it's like you said, you can't find those other aspects that easily, right? If you're looking for them, and for you to allow and have a platform to groom someone that might be interested in doing that, and putting them in a position that they can eat eventually and do their work, man, that's really dope. Commend you on that.
I thank you so much, brother. I'm about pushing forward. You know, I'm not about holding the culture hostage.
Right.
I'm not about holding the culture hostage, and that's a lot. That's going on a lot. It's going on a lot right now. So when people say, "Yo, why New York? Whatever," you know, drill music is doing this one too. It's popping. You know what I mean? But look at the drastic measure that needed to be taken in order for New York music to get played in New York.
Right. Right.
These kids had to basically turn their mentality into Chicago and make it popular to talk about the person you about to body, or the person you body, and go back and record and speak about it. And only when they did that were y'all willing to play New York rappers.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Now we all outside, we all do everything that we do. And I want the drill to continue to prosper. I just want drill artists to stop telling on themselves, because we from the streets and I'm an OG in the street. And if I seen any of these young drill rappers in the street, I will pull them to the side. Yo, bro, that ain't it, bro. Like, you don't do that. You know what I mean? Like, this is how real gangsters move. You don't do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so I do want the drill music to continue to prosper, continue to go forward. But other people, other individuals, and it's not just New York, it's the hip hop culture all around, but it's saturated in New York, that the powers that be, the legends and the legends in the game, not just rapper legends, the people that really make these things move forward and make this thing turn, they're holding the game hostage. They're not putting nothing forward. They're not pushing. And then they say, oh, this Caucasian guy is a culture vulture.
Right.
That Caucasian guy signed someone of our culture and gave him $1 million after he already signed him for $1 million. That culture, that Caucasian guy put his whole staff, as far as the rappers, were all black. We're all us. The culture. Right?
Right.
But you got people, same hue, act like they ain't you. Don't let that go over your head. Same hue, act like they ain't you.
Yeah.
And they don't push nothing forward. They for themselves. The people that did push it forward, they found some way to handle them badly for whatever their attitude is. And that's the people like Dame Dash and stuff like that. You know what I mean? People that push the culture forward for real. Beautiful thing what Jay do, but he's at such a high seat, you know, but he's beautiful everything he does to push the culture forward. But there's nobody on the ground level like who Dame was when he was Dame.
Right.
Who was Old Puffy was when he was on the ground. You know, there's nobody on the ground doing that, pushing the culture forward. That's why the culture not going nowhere. There is no RZA and Devon. There's none of these people. It's niggas, yo, come over here. Let me get you about $1,500 for this. Let me get you for $1,500 for this. Let me get you for $500 for this. There's no, yo, bro, you super talented. I got super connects. Come here, fam. Sign this deal so you don't do no foul shit. Sign this paper. And it don't got to be a deal. It just I need you to sign this to say that I'm out here working for you and you can't do no funny shit. Take them to all their connects, introduce them, bring the awareness, not give them the connects, bring the awareness to them.
Right.
Everybody, right? Bring the awareness to them, build them up, take them where all your connects take them. Certain things that you may have to pay for, you gotta help him come up with it. But if he don't have it all, listen, man, help him with it. The goal is where we going, is the vision. That, you know what? Before I tell the whole story and make a long story short, we have no visionaries. I'm the only visionary out here right now. We don't have no visionaries. There's nobody trying to put nobody on. I'm the only person on Instagram that reposts people's stuff just because I like what I seen. I like what I heard.
Yeah, I say that all the time.
Niggas stories is political.
I say that all the time, man. I don't know what I mean, I don't know. I guess that mentality is very hard to break. I've never understood it. I don't understand why, for example, one podcast can't share somebody else's podcast. Like, you know, like we do this, but it doesn't mean like if I see somebody else that's doing a podcast or a show, whatever it is, and I like that piece of content, that I can't share that. Because I feel that if I share it, the people that follow our podcast is gonna like say, "Oh, change it to the hip hop gods. I'm gonna go watch that now." Like that's, you know what I mean? Like if you're that insecure, then you might as well not even do this.
Yeah,
like and I'm just saying anything, artists, whatever it is, you know, some things, you know what I mean, that you got to keep. Some
things is business. Some things is business. But when you start tainting the culture for the business, and I'm gonna give you a perfect example. Right? Funk Master Flex, Red Alert, Chuck Chill Out. I ain't gonna really put Chuck Chill Out in there, but he's in there. And other DJs from other stations that these DJs have DJ'd in the same spot together.
Right.
DJ before they was on the radio station together, and now that they on the radio station and a song plays shouting his name out, I gotta bleep it.
Yeah, right.
You ruining the song, bro, because
just to not give
the
that
person
person
he mentioned is on a different radio station.
Right.
I know the music programmer didn't tell you to do that. Now you're getting too crazy. Like, let the song play, man. So when you start letting the corny politics, or the politics, even if they're good politics, start to leak into the culture like that, where you feel like you can't shout your man name out because he on a different radio station like that, we are not pushing the culture forward, and we letting people steal our culture 24/7 because we won't stand ground. We won't stand ground. And that comes from our hip hop pushers, our culture pushers. And this is just what it is, you know. It's not bashing anybody, it's not downing anybody, it's more so for inspiration. So please understand what I'm saying. It's the fact that they don't have anything besides this music to pay their bills.
Right.
Whatever they're doing, whether it's a podcast or anything else, that's the focal point of where the money is coming from. So they have to act like this. When you have other avenues of money, that's your major money focal point, you don't have to act like this. Because if you lose this today, you don't care. You got so much others.
Right.
But when this is your bread and butter, and this is your ooh, and this is only way I'm popular is this, then you do foul.
I get it.
And you let the politics run into the culture. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you say Flex, for instance, right? Flex has other avenue of bread. He has other avenue of bread. But the radio station is his consistent, constant bread that he knows is not. If anything else goes wrong, I made a bad investment. I lose this. The car show ain't anything that may go wrong. That he knows this radio station is gonna be up. This building is gonna be up. I'm gonna be here.
Right.
And that's why he acts like that. You understand? That's why there's no New York music unless it's drill on the radio.
You're right, man.
And the DJs can say whatever they want with all the other stuff, but that's it. I'm on the ground floor. So the politics of the program, that's right. That's true. The music programmer and all that, you need to find a music programmer. All artists, you need to find a music programmer, a music director, and make a relationship with him.
Yeah.
Stop chasing the DJs all over. Yo, spin my record on the radio. Stop. Go to their boss. Go to the person that tells them what they have to do. Get a relationship with him. Break some bread with him. And what I mean by breaking bread with him is pay for some advertisement.
Right. Yeah.
No doubt. Before we get out of here, is it possible for you to shout out your social media and everywhere we can keep up with you?
At Roy Rap on Instagram is at Roy Rap, at ROI RAPX _. Twitter is at Roy Rap for real. ROI RAPX, the number 4 real, REAL. YouTube at Roy Rap. You can just go to the YouTube channel at Roy Rap. I'm the only person with this name, so you Google me. It's only gonna be me popping up. Yeah. Facebook, same thing at Roy Rap. Yeah, for everywhere, man. Spotify, just type in Roy Rap, you're gonna find me. Ain't nobody got this name.
All right. So once again, on behalf of Changing of the Hip Hop Guards, it's me, Uncle E, and my partner, the Journal Sincere. We appreciate you for everything you have done in the past, the present, and everything that's going to be coming your way in the future. Thank you, man. Keep it going. Quick shout out to Sunny Dew for making this happen. Make sure to follow her on Instagram, man. Super shout out to her. And make sure you check her out and all her projects that she has going on. And yeah, man, thank you, man. Very informative. And like I said, we appreciate what you're doing, and please continue. So make sure that you stay around.
I will.
You know what I mean?
I will, bro. I will.
Stay around, please.
Before we go out, let me say, y'all go check out that Love is Love from Sunny Dew. She directed that movie. Go check that out. And with all that being said, peace. It's the God.